Christopher Columbus. We all know the name, right? In 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue, sailed west, discovered America for the Europeans, and became a hero. That's the story we all learned in school. But what if I told you that the simple, clean version of history is hiding a much stranger, more complicated story? One of the biggest and most persistent whispers is that Columbus already knew the Americas were there. Some historians and researchers point to a mysterious figure known as the unknown pilot. The theory goes that a storm blew another ship, captained by this unknown pilot, all the way across the Atlantic years before Columbus. The ship barely made it back, and the dying pilot supposedly shared his maps and logs with Columbus, giving him the ultimate cheat code for his voyage. How about his origins? We think of him as Italian, from Genoa. Some theories suggest he was secretly Spanish, Portuguese, or even Polish. Why would he hide his identity? Maybe because he was a spy. Some even suggest he was from a converted Jewish family, a converso, who was trying to escape the Spanish Inquisition and find a new homeland for his people. Now, let's talk about the money. How does a supposedly humble mapmaker from Genoa convince the King and Queen of Spain to fund a ridiculously expensive, high-risk mission into the unknown? Columbus wasn't just some guy who walked into the palace with a cool idea. He spent nearly a decade networking, lobbying, and schmoozing his way through the Spanish court. He was incredibly well connected with powerful bankers and influential church officials. He managed to secure financing from the royal treasury, but also from private Italian investors who were essentially venture capitalists of the 15th century. He was a master fundraiser and a brilliant self-promoter. The guy could sell sand in a desert. When he did reach the New World, his obsession with gold and profit led to absolute atrocities. He enslaved the indigenous Taino people, forcing them into brutal labor in gold mines. He established a tribute system where every native over 14 had to deliver a certain amount of gold, and the punishment for failing was horrific. His letters back to Spain are less about discovery and more like a CEO's quarterly report, constantly promising his investors a massive return. So, when we think of Columbus, maybe we shouldn't just picture a brave sailor on the deck of the Santa Maria. We should picture a mysterious figure with a secret past, a master networker with powerful shadowy connections, and a ruthless businessman whose quest for wealth kicked off centuries of exploitation. The real story isn't a simple nursery rhyme. It's a complex, dark, and fascinating tale of ambition, conspiracy, and the grim reality of what happens when exploration is driven by greed. The man is not a hero or a villain. He's an enigma, and a much stranger one than history class ever let on.